What's up, guys, and welcome back to the UGC Dota 2 League. This is going to be another best of two from, I believe, the Steel Division. We have Artificial Intelligence versus Groovy Gaming, and I am Mikelorus. I'm going to be your only caster. Unfortunately, I'm not joined by anyone else, but that's fine, because hopefully these games are going to be pretty good. That's the least you could hope for. The most you could hope for. It's what you could hope for when you are walking into these games. Not exactly going to be your S+ tier teams, but still the Dota should be good regardless. The US East servers, which is where we are playing on right now, might be experiencing some, shall we say, technical difficulties, so that may or may not factor into this game. If there's a whole bunch of pauses, then, well, I'm sorry, then things are going to get very unprofessional very quickly. But, you know, server issues or something and stuff like that. Can't really do much to work around it, and, well, it's hopefully not going to be an issue this game. By the way, we have a draft underway. Groovy Gaming, you're going to open up their lineup with a Viper and an Ogre Magi. First picking that Ogre, in fact. It's been more of a common trend, but now lately it's not been as much so. I mean, Ogre Magi is certainly a very desirable support hero in that he is just so tanky and he can put out so much damage. If you get a good early game start, then you could absolutely smash everyone. It's absolutely disgusting. But usually he is let through, at least now, the first... He's not first banned, which I don't think will ever be the case. Maybe we'll get there. Who knows? But he's not being first banned. First picked, not as much anymore. Maybe second picked. Although the difference there is quite marginal. So, Ogre Magi Viper, a fairly aggressive opening for Groovy Gaming. Ogre Magi is a hero that helps your heroes win their lanes, and Viper is a hero that doesn't really need help in winning his lane, but certainly will appreciate any ganking efforts that the Ogre Magi can put in. On the AI side, on the other hand, we got Scarith Mage, Centaur, War Runner there. So again, we have a very aggressively slanted opening, kind of from both of these teams, really. Scarith Mage is one of the premier support heroes, along with that Ogre Magi, and Centaur is, whenever you see him, is going to be usually indicating a fairly aggressive team comp. If you're playing super passive with Centaur, well, you're probably losing the game. Once you get your Blink Dagger, you want to be making action happen all around the map. The only problem with that right now is that Groovy Gaming have just a ton of tankiness. Viper and Ogre Magi are really big, and it's hard to crack them. So Centaur is going to be eventually setting up for Scarith Mage with the Blink Dagger, Hoof Stomp into Mystic Flare. A nice combination, and Scarith Mage overall, with his amplification and his support potential, is a fantastic partner with Centaur War Runner. I think, as much as I love the Ogre Magi, like, it's one of my favorite heroes, Scarith Mage, Centaur, War Runner, that's got to be one of my favorite openings. Like, you just pick those two, and you are so strong moving forward. You could go down any path. You could take it super late if you really want to. It seems like Groovy Gaming are expecting AI to go super late. You could play it really aggressively early on. You could pick up a couple more pushing heroes, or you could even go weird. Pick up a Necrophos. Why not? Go wild. And then the Centaur and Scarith Mage will gladly fit into that lineup. So I really like where Artificial Intelligence are taking this draft, but that being said, it is only 2 picks in. As I said before, Groovy Gaming seem to think that AI are going to angle to take this one very late, banning out the Spectre in order to prepare for that. Also, the Faceless Void getting the kick out, not because he's a super late game hero, more so because he's just going to have a sick combination with the Scarith Mage. If you Chronosphere someone into a Mystic Flare, you're probably going to get that kill, and it's something that Groovy Gaming, although very tanky, probably don't want to be dealing with. Artificial Intelligence, on the other hand, they take out the Terrorblade, they take out the Necrophos, and then they slam the Shaker. So Scarith Shaker, I mean, these trio of heroes that AI have, it could be an aggressive tri-lane, it could just be a heavy roaming comp from Earthshaker, Scarith Mage. Again, AI have a lot of flexibility, and they have 2 of the most potent support heroes in the game. Also taking out the, going back to their bans, taking out the Necrophos, kind of a weird pick. He is seen a lot more nowadays than he was previously, but still not exactly a common hero, and Terrorblade is something that they already have a whole bunch of tools to deal with. So I have a feeling Artificial Intelligence are just banning out heroes that annoy them, which is fine, but, I mean, you can't really effectively ban out against Groovy. They only have Viper, Ogre, Magi at that point. Regardless, Groovy are going to continue on now with a Silencer pickup, so going to add that little bit of utility, and ooh, AI, slam the PA. I think this is more so a ban from Groovy than a pick for themselves. That being, what I mean by that is, with Ogre Magi Bloodlust and the potential for a mag down the line with the Silencer, Ogre Magi potentially supports, the threat of a PA just gets a little bit too dangerous, and it doesn't really work fantastically with what AI have right now. Like, there's no real synergy there, aside from stun them, and hopefully Phantom Assassin will be able to clean up. But sometimes that's just good enough. And Phantom Assassin will be able to do that damage, especially since now the Silencer pickup is very fragile. That being said, Silencer, I'm assuming he's going to be played core. I don't know if that's always a safe assumption. I just really hate seeing support Silencers. If he steals any intelligence from the PA, or the Scarith Mage, or hell, anyone from Artificial Intelligence, that will hurt them quite a bit. PA is one of the dumbest heroes in the game, if I remember correctly. Along with Troll, her intelligence growth is like 1 or something like that. It's pretty bad. So hitting her intelligence pool is definitely going to hurt. Scarith Mage obviously gets more damage with more intelligence because of his arcane bolts, and then Centaur and Earthshaker are strength heroes who need mana, and if you could hit their mana pool, then you're going to be sitting pretty. Groovy Gaming, after the Silencer pick, where do they go after this? Now generally you see Silencers being picked up after the enemy has some sort of clear initiation path, like if it's going to be a Ravage or a Black Hole, something you can really put a stop to. Silencer is pretty good at stopping Centaur initiations, in that if you hear a Stampede, you just mash that button, but then Artificial Intelligence will always be able to Stampede and then try to draw out your Global Silence, and then things get really sticky from there. I'm not really sure how much I like the Silencer as a hero, let alone as a third pick. I think if you're going to pick him up, you could definitely wait a little while longer, because, you know, up against what our AI have, yes, technically a Silence would be good, but do you really want to be blowing a Global Silence to stop a potential Mystic Flare combination? That's a little bit weak in that you may not be stopping the death of your hero at all, so it's a little bit sketchy, but I like this Bristleback pick a lot more. If the enemy team is going to be dishing you a lot of magic damage, just turn your back to it, give it the cold shoulder, put the Bristleback in your lineup, and once again have a very tanky hero to deal with. These are 3 of the most tankiest heroes in the game, Bristleback, Viper, and Ogre Magi, now seeing play in this particular game. And AI, though, they do have a lot of damage to the Scarith Mage. Centaur Warrunner does quite a large bit. PA eventually will get there. They are going to need a little bit more, I think. Like, this is just such a hard nut for Groovy Gaming to crack, and well, their burst damage isn't all that high. They have a nice mix of physical and magical damage. Wow. Physical and damage, yeah. Nice mix of physical and magical damage, and the really only part they're lacking is they lack burst. And when you're dealing with PA, you kind of want to be able to burst her down. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's just not. Either way, they will be able to stick on people, you know, like White on Rice. Bristleback, Viper are 2 of the stickiest heroes in the game, and well, you add an Ogre Magi Ignite, Fire Blast into that combination, and Artificial Intelligence are going to struggle against that. Though they do have a Stampede, so the stickiness is not going to be completely locking everyone down from AI. They will still struggle against all these slows. So the Bristleback pick is making the Silencer look more and more like a support. This is kind of punishable by AI. I mean, Ogre Magi Silencer, it's an okay combination. Ogre Magi is generally played very aggressively. Silencer can't really do that much unless he finds just golden opportunities. So I'm inclined to think Groovy Gaming are going to be taking one more core hero to the bottom lane and then having a defensive tri-lane with Silencer, Ogre, then plus 1 more. Maybe you're just going to go with the good old Gyrocopter in order to cap out their lineup. Luna would have been pretty good as well. But it seems like with the Bristleback and Viper pickup, they want to play this a little bit more aggressively. So Gyrocopter seems really good. As far as melee cores that they could pick up, they already have an Ogre Magi and Bristleback on their team, so I would caution them to stray away from those types of thoughts, but it's possible, I suppose, that they pick up a melee core as their last. Maybe something like a Slark wouldn't be too bad. You know, dealing with Blur is certainly very annoying, but hell, if you have enough cover for... Oh, shit, look at that, I'm right, but on the wrong team. Artificial Intelligence are going to be the ones picking up the Slark, most likely to head towards that middle lane. Versus a Viper, not the best matchup. Maybe they're going to try to fix the Slark up against a Bristleback, which is a little bit of a better matchup there, in that you will be able to purge off all of the stacks of stuff that Bristleback is going to put on you. But, yeah, I don't know. Even though Slark is a high damage hero, does he have enough burst? I mean, Artificial Intelligence need a lot of items. They need a lot of gold in order to get off the ground. And once they do get off the ground, they'll be looking pretty good. But it's going to be up to Groovy Gaming to shut down the Phantom Assassin and the Slark and make sure that those heroes just don't get off the ground. With an Ogre Magi Silencer, it'll be a little bit difficult, but definitely possible, as the lanes from Groovy are looking just overall a little bit stronger, even without their last pick. Artificial Intelligence are working with 4 melee heroes right now, Scarith Mage being the only ranged. You know, if the Silencer... well, actually, I like the Jakiro here for Groovy Gaming. If you go Jakiro, you could very easily punish these melee heroes, or just go for the good old hard carry. Going to pick up that Morphling. It's going to be able to shotgun a couple of targets here and there. Slark PA, Skywrath Mage, Earthshaker, all fairly vulnerable to a shotgun once that item does come up. As I was saying, I would have liked to see a Jakiro there, and then they could just go full-on Deathball. Not exactly a hero that you want to put Bloodlust on, but for sure it's going to be able to punish the super melee-heavy lineup of Artificial Intelligence. Morphling can do it somewhat, but against the Skywrath Mage and the stuns from Shaker and Centaur, the Morphling is an exceedingly okay pick. And that's fine. I mean, I'm fine with picking up an okay hero, but I think there are great choices out there, so we will see as we do get ourselves into the game. Let's take a quick look at the ping. Oh, that's beautiful. That's what I like to see. So hopefully it's not going to be an issue moving forward, guys. And we are going to take care of the important stuff first. Thank you. And we are in the game. First of all, I would like to say that these teams have very nice, easy to pronounce names. Groovy Gaming, flows off the tongue. AI, doesn't get any simpler than that. Like, literally cannot get any simpler, unless it was just A, in which case the team name would suck. But Artificial Intelligence is a good team name, and it's very easy to say. So thank you, teams, for working with me this particular game. Let's see if their player names can follow suit. We got Can't Stop, who's going to be playing the Bristleback on the Groovy Gaming side. Oh, no, please don't say bug. Okay, reconnect because of item bug or something like that. Okay, there we go. If they were going to say that there were ping issues, I was going to flip a table. We got Can't Stop playing the Bristleback for the Groovy Gaming side with Grooves on the Viper. Yes, that is pronounced Grooves on the Viper. We got Gift Dodo on the Morphling and Batib on the Silencer. That leaves Diesel on the Ogre Magi. They're all heading down towards the bottom lane where they're going to be facing up against the Phantom Assassin being played by Ninja Chinky Winks. Okay, that's an interesting name. Who's playing Phantom Assassin? We got Nauji on the Skywrath Mage. Presumably coming with them is going to be Toby on the Earthshaker, though he is smoked up. Is he the only one who's smoked up? That's not supposed to happen. Well, that's a very interesting way to go. Anyway, Trintas is going to be on the mid lane Slark. That leaves Otto up towards the top as the Centaur War Runner. No, it's actually the Centaur is smoked up as well. Usually you don't do this. And by usually, I mean you never do this. I mean, these two heroes, they are both melee. And catching up to them is possible with a fissure if you corner someone. But first of all, there's no one on this top half of the map. Like, there's just no one on the enemy team here. So you're not going to get any kills with smoke if you're heading up towards this direction. Of course, AI don't know that, but they will soon realize that eventually. Even though you may be able to catch someone off guard, I don't think you will have enough damage to kill them off, because who are you going to catch off guard? If anyone, it's going to be the Bristleback. Like, with the lanes that Groovy, or with the heroes that Groovy have picked up, you could safely assume that either it's going to be a Morphling tri-lane, in which case you don't want to be ganking them with two heroes, that's a terrible idea, or it's going to be just a Bristleback, in which case, yeah, you might get him, but unless you get like a complete surround on him, which is extremely unlikely, you're not going to be able to bring him down. So this is a smoke that I think is just going to be wasted from AI. It's possible that the bug that Toby just disconnected to fix was something to do with items, in which case the smoke was meant for later. I think that's actually a little bit more probable. Like, it doesn't seem likely that the Earthshaker, that the AI side meant to use the smoke at level 1. It just isn't a good idea for the reasons I already explained. So I'm going to chalk that one up for the bugs, for Ice Frog to fix, and for Toby maybe and his crappy computer to iron out the details on later. But I think the lanes are going to be, for the most part, pretty predictable, with the exception of the Earthshaker, who could potentially be heading towards the top lane. I don't really like that. He's not going to be able to help out the Centaur at all. Like, yeah, he will be able to fissure and maybe set up for a Hoof Stomp later on, but honestly, fissure into Hoof Stomp is a pretty weak combination, especially when you're dealing with the Bristleback, and Centaur is probably going to be hurt more than he's going to be helped with the presence of the Earthshaker there. I would like to see the Shaker go down towards the bottom lane, meet up with the PA and the Skywrath Mage, and try to play this lane a little bit more aggressively. Phantom Assassin has a Quelling Blade first, which is actually a pretty curious item pickup. Expecting to get last hits, but this is up against a lot of kill potential from Groovy. I mean, the Morphling will be able to poke at the Phantom Assassin, the Silencer, the exact same thing, and then at a certain point, Diesel's just going to pull the trigger with a Fire Blast, and then PA's got to book it. So I think this Quelling Blade is probably better off being anything else, like branches, more regen, the start of a Poor Man's Shield maybe. That would have been a little bit better start, because I don't think AI will be able to comfortably sit on the front lines and last it with their PA. Okay, are we going now, or... Oh, he's still disconnecting. Okay. Getting 1K ping. Oh dear, guys. Okay, so hopefully the Shaker comes back. Unfortunately for Toby, he's playing an Earthshaker, and that is not exactly a hero that is ping-proof. Like Phantom Assassin, you could kind of play that a little bit more ping-proof, but Shaker, no. Bristleback, you could do it. Viper, you could probably do it as well. Although properly orb walking enemies to death does require a little bit of finesse. Shaker is a hero that you need perfect finesse with, and if you can't get that ironed out, then it's going to be AI, unfortunately, on the receiving end of server issues. Let's see. I'm pretty sure there's some UGC rule about pauses. Again, not up to me to enforce. I'm just here for the casting and stuff like that. So we will continue to chill out. I think overall, if it does become a aggressive tri-lane versus a defensive tri-lane on the AI versus Groovy side on the bottom lane, then it should be pretty even, I would say, with a slight edge towards Groovy. I mean, their heroes are certainly capable of fighting, especially the Ogre Magi, and they will be assumably closer to their tower, so even though AI have some pretty powerful heroes, their laning phase isn't going to be that great. I would like to see actually this tri-lane from AI just go to the top lane. It doesn't seem strong enough to warrant an aggressive tri-lane, and they're probably going to get smashed, honestly. Like, Silencer is fantastic against tri-lanes, maybe not up against Phantom Assassin, or, well, I mean, maybe not at all. Curse of Silence against Arcane Bolt and Stifling Dagger is kind of underwhelming. Or against Earthshaker, it's good, but that's not worthy of this lane. Maybe putting the Centaur here is a little bit better. And obviously, the Centaur is going to be in a little trouble. He'll take a lot of harassment, but it's unlikely that he'll actually die. And, well, yeah. So, this is fun. Certainly exciting times right now. Oh man, guys. Oh man. There is actually just like nothing more to talk about. If I had a co-caster, I could probably get something else off the ground, but I'm all tapped for ideas, so we just have to look at this stuff. Now's the part in Dota where it's really awkward for one person to just be sitting here through all these pauses, because talking to yourself like this makes you kind of feel weird. I mean, you're not even talking about anything. You're literally filling time talking about nothing. That's actually surprisingly hard. I don't know how many people have tried it because it makes you look like a lunatic in most cases, but it is pretty difficult. Holy crap, this looks so weird. Yeah, Bristleback's a weird hero. I mean, he's like a piggly thing, but still, this back thing of his, ugh. Would you want to hit that? If I was Phantom Assassin, I wouldn't touch that with like a 20-foot pole. Slark's even worse. Not for like his back, but for hitting things. Like, he has to get really close, because he has like a small shanker thing, whereas PA, especially this PA, has a big ass scythe, so he's gonna be able to take some souls. Man, this is actually a nice scythe. Let's look at that. Oh yeah, 9 demons imprisoned. I have one of those gems. I have no idea what it does. She's been imprisoning demons 9 times. I'm watching some Alliance games, so yeah, pretty sweet scythe. Grab that out of the Phantom Assassin's hands, give it to the Necrophos, and everyone's going to be happy. Taking another look at some cosmetics. Scarth Mage has, some okay ones. The stick is pretty nice. I think this is the, whatchamacallit? Yeah, the Immortal. Ancient Seal kills. Now, to my knowledge, Ancient Seal doesn't do any damage. I don't think it amplifies it like by applying an additional source of damage. I think it just makes things do more damage. Like, there are some skills, or there used to be some skills. I'm trying to think of something. Man, I don't remember, but there used to be some skills that would amplify damage by, it's kind of like Orchid. Like, it technically amplifies the damage, but it applies another source of damage amplification. I don't think Ancient Seal does that. I think it just takes the magic value and then just bumps it by the percentage. So I don't really know how that works. Maybe it's kills that have been sealed up with Ancient Seal. That's possible, I suppose. I blame Volvo for poor wording on that. It's so deceptive. Where's the Centaur? Centaur's got nothing. Centaur has some pretty cool stuff on paper, but you don't have that helm that covers your entire face, or the flail or whatever, you're probably doing it wrong. Look at this. Underside of invisible Centaur. Boom. Oh my god, guys, we're going. Hallelujah. Wait. We haven't checked out everyone's items yet. Actually, that seems to be it. Silencers, some pretty boring items. Okay, we are back in. Let's get out of this stupid viewer system thing. And let's continue onwards. Everyone's going to be heading towards their respective lanes, and Shaker, well, this smoke is doing nothing, so unfortunately for AI, it is going to be 100 wasted gold from the get-go. Shouldn't be hurting them too much. That's 2 potential clarities there, but yeah, he's going to be fine. He's going to let that wear out. So that was definitely an issue with lag or something, misclicked. And, well, we're going to try to forget that. Hopefully it's not going to turn out to bite them in the ass, but I can't imagine it'll hurt them too much. We are going to see, as predicted, a 3v3 lane. And Silencers should be able to put out some pretty decent damage here. Ogre Magi is going to be opening the fights. Viper will be able to farm at a safe distance. Can't really be said... The same can't really be said for Ninja. He will be forced to last hit occasionally, unless he just wants to purely rely on Stifling Dagger, in which case he's going to be getting a lot less. Can't stop. Already going strong into the Centaur with a double damage rune, 3 stacks of that goo. Got to apply a couple more. He actually waits a little bit too long and ends up losing all of them. If he was a little bit more diligent about that, that could have potentially been first blood. But already Centaur Warrunner not having a good trade in this lane. That being said, can't stop. Was forced to level 1 goo, which isn't the best. Man, why is my mouse wheel being so uppity? Come on. He was forced to level 1 goo, which isn't the best, but he will be able to redeem that in a couple of levels. It's not too unheard of to get goo this early on Whistleback. Not 0 minute level 1 vicious nasal goo, but level 3, level 4, pick up a point. So by the time he gets there, everything should be balancing out, and I expect most action to happen on the bottom lane. Morphling versus a Slark, honestly, these two shouldn't really be getting kills on each other. Slark, even if he does land a pounce on Morphling, waveform out is going to get him home safely. And if Morphling somehow chips the Slark below, in a dangerous amount of health, then, well, Slark should be able to pounce out and be just fine. So, again, no kills should be happening on the mid lane, no kills should be happening on the top lane either. Unless one of them gets a haste rune or something like that. Or they just get into a slugfest, in which case they're going to try to race. And then the person who calculates better is going to win. Simple as that. So because of that situation, we have ourselves a 3v3 that we're going to be staring intently at on the bottom lane. Now, the only real hope for AI to open up on this fight is for Shaker to get a nice fissure. And it can't even be like a fissure on 2 or 3 heroes. Like, even though fissure on to 3 is the dream, it's what you want to be aiming to do. In this case, you want to be looking for a block. Like, ideally, you want to be standing here, and you want to fissure this way, and then suddenly all your enemies are over there, and then you could very easily go in and then start killing things with the Phantom Assassin and Scarith Mage. And by the way, that was the most beautiful drawing you've ever seen in your life. Or they could just Fire Blast Nauji. He can take quite a bit of damage, though he will survive enough. I think last word damage won't do him in. Poison damage is almost there. Grooves will get one more right click in. Is that lethal? No, it's not. Oh man, that was close. Ogre Magi taking Bloodlust at level 2 instead of Ignite. I think that might have costed them the kill. Like, Bloodlust is a good skill, and, slapping on the Morphling, onto Bristleback, onto Viper is really good. But Ignite is a lot of damage, guys. Like, Ignite actually does more damage than the Fire Blast. So getting that probably would have ensured the kill on the Scarith Mage, but it's going to be the offensive capabilities of Groovy shining through at the very least. Like, they are going to be flexing their muscles on this bottom lane. And AI, now their Phantom Assassin all alone, is going to be taking chip damage. Exactly what you want to avoid on this hero. Blur is going to help eventually, but that's not going to come out for a very long time. Or at least not to a reasonable degree where it's going to make her impervious to physical damage. So for right now, AI are going to be feeling pretty happy about where they sit in this lane. Oh, actually, Gift Dota is going to start a fist fight with Arintas. This is not a fight that Slark could win. I don't know why that happened, but, sometimes you just gotta give yourself up like that, and then that happens. So Morphling getting a free one there, because Slark honestly had no chance in hell of killing that Morphling, so I don't even know why he was trying. It is going to be Grooves getting blinked upon by Chinky Wings, but this might be a bad idea from the Phantom Assassin. Last word damage will kill her off. AI are just a little bit suicidal. I think they think they should have to calm down just a little bit. Blinking in for a Viper like that would be a good idea if she had, completely full HP. That wasn't the case. 300, 400. But did you have full HP? I don't think she did. I don't know. My brain is just not working apparently. But she didn't really have supports, though they were in the area. They weren't able to contribute anything. So Viper is. Oh no, who got it? I mean, Silencer getting a free one. +2 intelligence for himself in this trial situation where it should be AI playing fairly defensively. 2 intelligence is a nice way to start. But the problem is that AI, as I just said, are going to be playing this defensively. That is kind of by choice, although not really. They would like to be aggressive with this tri-lane, but their tri-lane is not going to beat that of Groovy's. Now, going for the Morphling, that seems a little bit more viable, unless Scarith Mage doesn't have Ancient Seal. I want to say right now there is almost a 0% chance they get this Morphling. I'll be generous and say like 10%, but it's very, very unlikely that this Morphling goes down here. It'll be better for Nauji and Toby to wrap around and try to get the jump on the Viper over in mid, but he has level 2 Corrosive Skin. He's going for no points in Nether Toxin. I think this is the correct build for the situation, but it's going to be Nauji and Toby instead breaking the smoke on the Silencer. And the Earthshaker is way too far away to punish that, so they are going to be forced to fall back, and now everyone from Groovy, they want to fight. It's going to be Toby landing up a 2-man fissure. Chinky Winks wants in on the Viper, but this is a really tough nut to crack, and now the Silencer is going to be putting a lot of damage on the PA with Fire Blast as well. That's going to be heard down. Toby, tagged with the poison, is going to be dropping as well, as long as they can sustain this chase, and they should be able to, unless Grooves gets body blocked by the Silencer. It will be Silencer taking 2 more stacks of intel as he gets 1 kill, 1 assist. And AI, their quote-unquote offensive tri-lane, is utterly failing right now. They have really nothing going for them at all on this bottom half of the map. I mean, Slark is doing okay in CS versus the Morphling, but dying solo like that really put him far behind. And oh, I completely missed that one, guys. I am sorry about that. I apologize. Otto getting a kill on the Bristleback. Finally, AI, they get on the board with a very nice kill, killing off a hero who's been having a very easy time. Or a decently easy time in comparison to everyone else, but it is going to be maybe Arantas, who's in a little bit of trouble. Waveform forward for the Morphling, a little bit too late. I think they could have potentially bursted him down, maybe if they get in front of the pounce, but that's not going to happen. Silencer ganking is incredibly bad, and that is exactly what we saw right there. So it's going to be a death of the Bristleback, but Bristleback's doing well enough so that he can feel comfortable with this. It's not like the bottom lane for AI where they're just getting completely smashed. They're going to completely dissolve this lane and switch down Otto down here. He does have Stampede, so I suppose... Why didn't I hear that? Is my volume just really low? I think it might be. I'm going to turn that up. I should have heard Stampede, but I didn't for whatever reason. So they're going to make a complete lane switch now. So Bristleback is going to have a tougher time. The Centaur is going to have a tougher time. Who's going to get the upper edge here? If the Centaur has Stampede up, I don't see the Groovy tri-lane. I don't see them being able to kill the Centaur. And Can't Stop is already taking a good amount of heat over on this top lane, but he could actually turn this one around. He has Warpath, and now G got way too far ahead of himself. Now Can't Stop is going to take a couple hits here and there, but Chinky Winks, he's got to watch out as well. The South and the Bristleback is going to make him chase forward, walled off by the Fissure, however, so he can't actually get that kill, but still, he was aggressed upon, and he ended up getting the kill for his team. Otto on the bottom lane, going to take a little bit of pressure as well. Nothing lethal, though. Groovy now finding wins. Pretty much wherever this tri-lane from AI goes, death follows, but not in a good way. Like, Scarith Mage still has 0 base armor, and up against Bristleback, who is 100% a purely physical hero, that's exactly not the matchup you want. Bristleback is actually pretty good, or fantastic offensively, versus a Scarith Mage. Defensively, he's still pretty good, but just not as good as offensively. Overall, Bristleback is just a good hero versus Skyrath. So the lanes, the early stage from AI, really not working well for them. The Morphling is now topping the last hit chart. He's holding on to a lot of gold. I don't know what he's going to be going for. I'm inclined to think that it's... Well, I mean, Lincoln Sphere is the pretty standard build, but I don't know how good that is in this game. It's popped by so many things. It's going to be a Hand of Midas, so yeah, going for Lincoln Sphere, probably not the objective for the Morphling in this game, because, you could have it, but you get popped by Stifling Dagger or Phantom Strike. These are all things that you would not really want to spend your Lincoln Sphere on. Going for a Midas into either straight Abyssal, not Abyssal Blade, that's not a good item, Ethereal Blade, the other blade, straight Ethereal Blade or a Mantis Style, both would be a little bit preferable, I would say. He could go for the Mantis Style, like, best case scenario, it blocks an Ancient Seal, but that's not really worth buying. In the meantime, the Viper has a completed mechanism. That's an 8-minute mech. 102, 36 CS at this stage in the game is pretty damn good. Oh my god, Toby, fix your computer. Seriously, man? Come on. Ugh. Okay, so state of the game is pretty easily summed up right now with Groovy in complete control. Their top lane was going the worst comparatively to the other lanes, but AI shuffling their heroes up there and trying to go for a kill on a bristleback, very, very tough business. They don't have enough damage to do it with only level 3? Yeah, only level 3 Scarith Mage, and he's not even there anymore. AI, their lanes have all but completely dissolved. And for Groovy, they are more than okay, just stay the course. Ogre Magi, he doesn't have 3 points in Fire Blast, so his level 6 is going to be a little bit weaker, but he's going to go for Bloodlust regardless. A very aggressive build for the Ogre Magi in that he is relying heavily on his allies to get the job done. If your ally is doing poorly in lane, it's a bad idea, but they're doing fantastically in lane. Grooves is getting quite a bit of farm. Not an aggressive build on him, but with Bloodlust you can kind of overcome that lack of aggressive capabilities. Bristleback obviously is doing just fine. And then the Morphling is doing the best on the team, or best in the game rather, with Hand of Midas 8 minutes into the game. And he's going to be pretty much unmet by anyone else in that regard. There are no minuses in the works from AI. Their best hopes at kind of rallying from this early game deficit is going to be getting a Blink Dagger on their Centaur. That's going to take quite a long time. Still 1,200 gold away from that. He's getting this weird thing. Thank you. Thank you for being clear about that. The weird thing. Hopefully the Shaker is going to be just fine, but he is going back to the base. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, it's going to be one of those games, guys. It's going to be one of those games. Ugh, come on, guys. Wait the edge pan thing. I have no idea. I have no idea. You know, I haven't casted from a replay in a very long time. I kind of miss that, because right now, I would just be like, pause. Just let me press this button a couple times, and hey, no more pauses. I mean, you obviously don't get the same type of viewership. That being said, there's no one in this stream, so it's kind of irrelevant. But, yeah, casting from replays, man, being able to skip pauses is the dream. That is seriously the best thing in the world. But it looks like we are going to get through this pause. Slark skill build, actually a little bit interesting. Not your typical Slark skill build, and that usually max out pounce, like 9 times out of 10 that will happen. But up against a Morphling, an inherently evasive hero, I like the idea of not getting pounce first. It's a lot easier to land a Dark Pact, and he will be able to land that a lot easier. Of course, it'll be hurting him a lot more, but now he has Shadow Dance, so he will be able to buff most of that damage out. Still Grooves flexing his muscles on the bottom lane. With only 2 heroes here, I'm pretty sure Grooves can be left alone, and he will be able to survive the lane and do pretty well. With the other 2 heroes still sticking around, they will be able to go aggressively, and with the mech flying out to them, they could conceivably push this tower. It will go down very slowly, as none of these heroes are very great at dealing with towers. Viper would be, if he didn't have 0 points in Nether Toxin. So their pushing is going to be extremely limited, and we do see Scarith Mage and Toby once again circling around for the Morphling, but still he has no Ancient Seal, so Scarith Mage kind of making a flaw in his skill build. You need the Ancient Seal if you're going to kill a Morphling. It's as simple as that. Or just overpower him with numbers, but I think Morphling should be fine. He does have a lot of strength to morph in. He has a waveform. He's at full tank of mana, and he's going to run into Toby and Nauji. So Morphling, pay attention. There you go. He'll waveform away. Fissure's available, but it's going to wall him off on the wrong side. Here comes the Silencer to help out. Curse Silence is there as they do stampede forward. It's going to be Diesel going strong into the Slark. He will not be able to get that kill. And now this Ogre Magi trapped in the middle of the river. He needs a lot of help right now, although everyone else is out of mana. Ogre Magi is actually going to turn this one around and try to go for Nauji. He's going to whack him a couple times, but nothing's going to come out of that. Stampede being used and Morphling getting out to safety. Now finding a Bounty Rune is going to very quickly get juiced up back to where he was, if not even healthier. And he still has a little bit more strength he can morph out from, but still, it's a failed gank attempt from AI, and they also pull out the Stampede. So overall, things are not going well for the Artificial Intelligence team. I mean, their Slark is still doing fine. It looks like he is going to be going for Midas, actually. Don't really know how much I like this. I guess if you have a PA who's free farming, then you could go for an aggressive build, but she's not exactly having the best of times, as Can't Stop is now going to go strong into Chinky Winks. The damage is not quite there, but he will force a TP in. Scarith Mage, that's an easy kill. Oh man, Bristleback could have easily turned around and killed off that Scarith. In fact, I think he's thinking about diving right now, but now it's a little bit too late. So Can't Stop will stop. over on the top lane, but still it's the Bristleback showing how powerful he is and really forcing AI to throw several heroes up to that top lane in order to deal with him. And that's really an investment that AI can't really afford to make right now. They need so many more heroes in all of their other lanes that sparing it for the safe lane is not ideal. They are going to put 3 heroes up there for now as Slark does rotate in. This could potentially be a kill on the Bristleback, but he's extremely tanky. He's level 9. He's got 3 points in his namesake skill, as well as the workings of a Vanguard, so can't stop. You could also just straight TP out of here. AI have no stuns in the area. Fissure, maybe? No. It's not going to happen, but they unleashed the full combo onto Can't Stop. Barely even scratched him. In the meantime, we do have an aggressive setup here. Batib as well as Diesel waiting for a poor sucker to teleport in, and Centaur's going to be that poor sucker. He has a Stampede though, so getting this kill is not going to happen. Although they will put a lot of damage onto him, they do force out the Stampede. No one's going to initiate off of that. I guess it didn't really cost them that much, and they pull out the Stampede once again, but getting a kill on the Centaur is hard enough without having to deal with his ultimate. Like, they just don't have enough damage here. Like, maybe if Diesel had a multicast and Viper had level 4 Nether Toxin, they would get it, but outside of that, Viper is going for a very defensive build, looking to build his power treads, and Slark has finished at the Midas, so we have Gloves of Haste freaking everywhere. I sure hope it's not going to turn into Midas Gaming, simply because I don't want to sit here for another 30-40 minutes in Game 1. I hate farm fests, and it looks like we can be seeing one right now. I mean, Groovy can take this very late, as can AI, so wouldn't really blame the teams for going like that. It's just not exactly the most entertaining way to watch Dota. We are going to see Bristleback potentially in a little bit of trouble. If he gets walled off completely, that's the only situation where he's in a lot of trouble. Chinky Winks is at less than half HP. Fissure onto Can't Stop, and now the magic damage as well, but he doesn't really give a damn. He can turn around and easily kill all 3 of these heroes, and he will do so. Working with those quills. Needs one more quill spray to kill off Nauji. Oh, he's not going to go for it. Can't Stop. Go in. Why are you stopping, Can't Stop? He's going to dodge the pounce. Now he's in a little bit of trouble because Slark is here, but Bristleback's still very tanky. He's going to stick up. No, he won't. Here comes the Silencer. We'll put a lot of damage to the Slark. He will buff most of it out. Now Shadow Dancing. Batib has got to back off. That Bristleback made a really conservative play there. If he just charged straight for the Scarith Mage and then got one more Quill Spray off, then he could have been fine. Yeah, I mean, he did see the Slark coming in with the Observer Ward, but I mean, if Slark's coming in, you're probably going to die anyway. You might as well take someone down with you. He didn't use 7 Magic Stick charges, which on a Bristleback is absolutely crucial. Like, he wasn't switching treads for the extra kick of that Magic Stick, which, is a minor way of optimizing, not really that relevant, but he didn't even use it. It could have bought him a little bit more time, put a couple more Quill Sprays out, and then maybe he would have gotten a kill if he just went straight for his target. But Can't Stop instead decided to play this very defensively, and I gotta say, I'm disappointed. With a username like Can't Stop, you would think he would just be diving towers left and right. He's now going to try to go for the Phantom Assassin. She has phase boots, though. This is going to be a tough nut to crack. The quills are going to start to stack up, as will the Nasal Goo. Chinky Wings dropping very low. Doesn't have TP because she used it to TP in. Can't Stop will get that kill. Now changing his sights to the Scarith Mage. That kill's a little bit less feasible. But regardless, they do dive the tier 1 tower and get the Phantom Assassin easy peasy, and the Bristleback is going to be able to do that pretty much without that much help. The Silencer offering level 4 last words amounts of damage, which is pretty high. In the meantime, bottom lane Viper will take out the tower. Diesel is going to get pounced upon, but he will straight TP away. He will be just fine, as the Viper is now going to try to kill off the Slark as Centaur does come in. No Blink Dagger Gold just yet onto Auto, but he does have Stampede. Will use it in order to try to get closer to this Viper. This is a tough hero to kill off, though. They're going to double edge him, everything in the book. They will chain stun him for long enough. He can't even mech, and that's actually a deceptively high amount of damage over in that short period of time. Level 3 Hoof Stomp, level 4 Pact. And the Viper just didn't have enough to tank through it. If he did, then for sure Mech would have saved him, and then he would have Magic Sticked up and would have been fine. Can't Stop, though, is going to find another kill. I don't think Nauji has any way of getting out from this, unless he uses Fog of War to his advantage. Can't Stop has the Warpath, and he is on one. Nauji going to try TP out, but 1 hit, 2 hits, easy kills for Bristleback. Again, 0 base armor, or I guess 1 base armor at this point, not quite enough. And now the Phantom Assassin wants in. I'm not sure if she should want in right now, because the Bristleback is now going to get an upgraded Magic Wand, if only he used those stick charges, right? Well, he will have extra value from it now. He is running this top lane. If anyone on AI comes up here, like any one hero, they're probably not going to have a good time. Slark is going to have the best time, but you can't really rely on your Slark to do everything for you all the time. They need several heroes up here to deal with the Bristleback. And all the while, Morphling is free farming. He has the Hand of Midas, another 1500 gold with the Aquila finished. Now Can't Stop has a Vanguard, so even the damage Slark is going to put out is not that high. And, bottom lane, Viper's pushing that one out with his completed Hand of Midas. So that's 3 Midases, yes, I believe. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 3 Midases. And this game for Groovy, the longer they take it, the better it'll be for them, especially since they're holding an intermediate advantage right now. So it's looking really bad, honestly, for the artificial intelligence side, as Power Tread's now picked up by the Morphling on top of 1700 gold. I thought his farm was a little bit low. I'm like, really? Only Hand of Midas for Aquila 60 minutes in when you got an 8-minute Midas, but no, he's got Power Treads on top of that with another 1800 gold in the bank. So Gift Dota is probably going to head on towards a shotgun right now. And if he gets that in a timely fashion, then, well, it should be easy pickings from here on out. As AI, they're really struggling to get anything. There's no Blink Dagger in sight for the Earthshaker. Hell, he doesn't even have boots yet. Toby is really freaking poor right now. Centaur does have his Blink Dagger, and as I said before, that is going to represent the largest chance for AI to make some sort of comeback in this game. Take a quick look at how behind they are. Almost 75 behind, or 7,500 behind, rather, in gold, a little bit more than 3,000 behind in experience. And the experience deficit isn't that high, but the lack of towers is really starting to catch up with them. They're not farming as well as Groovy, as they're 1 Midas behind, plus they're not taking towers, so Groovy, they're not grouping up as 5. Really, they don't have to. They're under no pressure on any of their lanes. As long as they just stay the course and continue to get farm on these heroes, get a couple more big items up, then they could pretty much take this game at their leisure. Whereas for AI, their farm, although it will be very useful for Phantom Assassin, for the Slark both, it's not going to be helping them that much, as Chinky Winks won't be able to farm in the lane, so he's mostly reserved to the jungle. Kind of the same thing for the Slark. He can go for these kills with the Boots of Travel. He will have a little more flexibility in doing so, but I mean, this is going to be a late game situation, guys, so get yourself some food. My water cup is full still, which is nice, and we'll just wait for a team to make a move. I think it's got to be AI, though. I mean, Otto does have a Blink Dagger, but it's going to be Scarith Mage to get jumped first. Multicast, not there. It's there with the Ignite. Now G going to turn around as they do use Global Silence. Scarith Mage still in quite a bit of trouble. Will try to TP out. Needs 2 hits to kill him off. They're not going to land a single one. It's going to be, instead, Diesel take most of the damage. He's critted down in an instant. Chinky Winks is going to get tagged with a little bit of that goo, as Can't Stop is going to charge on forward. Phantom Assassin doesn't have another Phantom Strike available. Can't Stop needs to hug that Phantom Assassin real tight and not let go, because she does have a Phantom Strike charging, but if she uses it, it'll kill her. There it is. Silencer will get another stack of intel, so it is a 1-for-1 trade. Core for a support. Again, a favorable trade for Groovy. As over in their mid lane, Toby is going to narrowly dodge death from the Morphling for now, but an Adaptive Strike will kill him off in the end. It's Groovy just staying in this laning phase because they can. Slark is messing with the Viper a little bit. We'll be able to put some serious damage onto that hero, but all the other lanes are losing for AI right now, and this is not a situation that they could remedy just by sitting around and doing nothing. Their Centaur has to get super active. He has to group up with his Earthshaker and Scarith Mage, and as a group, try to get kills, because they do have a level 6 Mystic Flare on Skywrath. That's really all you need in order to get some kills here and there. I mean, they already burst down the Ogre Magi, who's also level 6, so it's not like it's impossible for them to come back. They're going to go for Grooves. Mystic Flare, though, is going to quickly put a stop to that TP. And Grooves is going to go down. Here comes the Silencer, but a blink forward into a Stomp's going to land on 2. Double Edge into the Silencer as well as the Slark closing in for the pounce. Multicast onto the Slark is going to do a little bit of damage, but definitely not enough. Diesel is going to dodge the jump forward, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. He will go down. Toby is in the area, not even needed. Silencer Illusion is here as well. Morphling better not jaunt into this one or replicate into this one. What is it called? Replicate. Yeah, it is called Replicate into it. And it will be 3 heroes going down for Groovy. A huge jump of gold for AI. The Slark getting quite a bit from that. 1,300 more in the bank. It looks like he's going to be going for, I want to say, a Sanj and Yasha, although that could very easily be turned into a BKB. And it is going to be a BKB. So AI are going to look to get their BKBs up and then make some sort of an aggressive push. Again, it has to involve taking towers because these towers are making the gold difference right now for Groovy. That and the Hand of Midas and the overall CS score being in their favor as well. But AI, what they have to do right now is just not let up on this pressure. I mean, it's a nice little start for what they had going, killing off a couple heroes here and there. But if they stop applying that pressure, then they will just find themselves in another situation where they just can't get anything. Morphling, oh man, going for a BKB. I mean, it's a good item to get on Morphling. I'm just kind of upset because he could have gotten an Ethereal Blade so much faster than we usually see. But he instead went for the boring item. I mean, I guess it's the right build. Technically, it's the right build. Or it's an acceptable build. I think Manta Style would have been better still. But either way, he's going to be pretty unstoppable from AI unless they just completely burst him down within the duration of one stun. It's difficult to do, albeit not impossible. They're going to smoke up and find Can't Stop. This is a very tough hero to kill. He's going to straight TP out. He's going to get that interrupted that might actually end up helping him, as he does have stick charges to pop and a mech nearby. They're going to global silence. Toby walking in for an attempted Echo Slam is not going to find anyone. They're not focusing on this Earthshaker, though. They're going to get punished because of it. Echo Slam does come out, but they get the 3 kills regardless, so Echo Slam level 1, I mean, he casted it, I guess. Mission success for the Shaker, but global silence completely screwing AI over in that fight. Morphling didn't even use his BKB, didn't even have his BKB. And AI, they take a very aggressive attempt at trying to get a pick off. Killing off a Bristleback is not an easy task, so they were kind of asking to be put into a dangerous situation, and he sticked up, he got mech'd up, and all of a sudden, that's a hero with a whole bunch of more damage reduction with the Bristleback, plus a Crimson Guard that was pretty fresh on him. Very hard for AI to take those kills without the Slark. They need this Slark, and he's going to look to jump in straight onto Batib. He's going to miss his pounce, but still puts a lot of damage onto the Silencer regardless. Jump forward from the PA. BKB active is going to slay the Silencer. Now going to look for a little bit more. Diesel is going to get packed up, and it looks like he will be the next one to drop. No Stifling Dagger, not needed. Ogre Magi drops. Now Grooves going to try to TP out. Toby is a little bit slow on the Fissure. I don't really know if that was cooldown or what, but either way, it's going to be 2 heroes down for Groovy, but this is the 2 support heroes down for Groovy. These are heroes that Groovy are okay trading off, because what they get in exchange is a BKB charge out of the Phantom Assassin. I don't think the Slark uses BKB, he didn't, so it's not really the best trade for Groovy, but at least these heroes that are dying are not the Bristleback or Viper or the Morphling. Like, that would be pretty bad for them. Instead, they're going to lose a tier 1 tower. At this point, 22 minutes into the game, losing a tier 1 tower is not life and death. So they will, be okay with losing this one. Meantime, Groovy, they're just going to stay the course and just farm. Grooves 1,000 gold away from his completed Aghanim Scepter, unless he has anything on the courier, which he doesn't. So Aghanim Scepter in the pipeline for him. Ogre Magi going full-on Bloodlust, putting his faith into his allies. Gift Dodo, another 2,300 gold in the bank. He's farming up an absolute storm, and Bristleback is looking to make a pipe for his team. So this Bristleback is going to be a high-priority target to bring down, but good luck doing so. Gift is going to get blinked upon, but he will just turn and fight against Shaky Wings. Has a Replicate out. He's going to miss one too many attacks, though. But here comes the Bristleback, and Shaky Wings should not be able to escape. Are you kidding me? Can't stop? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking joking me right now? That was a free kill. And instead, now he might be going down. He has a TP in theory. He's going to get Global Silence, so Otto's not going to straight out kill him. Bristleback has stick charges, and all the Quills are going to start spraying, but I think Can't Stop just missed a pretty large opportunity. He's going to get slowed down once again. Has more stick charges available soon enough, but man, how do you screw up like that? I don't even know how that's possible. Literally, all you have to do is move your guy, and that would have gotten a kill, or just press a button. But instead, he just walked right by. Like, I have no freaking clue what happened there. Maybe? No, we're good, or I'm good at least. Hell, I don't know. Maybe he has a wooden PC. I have no idea, but Bristleback gave away not only a death of himself, but also a missed kill opportunity on the Phantom Assassin. That was something that Gift Dodo probably could have chased a little bit more aggressively for, though he did expect the Centaur Blink to come in. Hard to react against that. So I think Gift Dodo made the right call. I mean, the Blurs kind of saved the Phantom Assassin to begin with, but Bristleback had that kill in the bag. It was just him messing up. They're going to find the Slark, but getting a kill on this hero is near impossible. They're going to multicast him twice. Curse is going to be buffed out as he does Bloodlust in. Try to go for Diesel. And I think the Ogre Magi is going to go down here, although he will stick up and try to TP out. He will make it out alive. That's a BKB charge used by Trinitas, and now he's going to try to jump out of there. He will get a lot of damage dealt to him, but he will be able to survive that with the Shadow Dance. So BKB charge number 1 being used from the Slark. A nice little pull there from Groovy. Still, they are not willing to make any sort of concerned push, although they are getting to a stage where they can easily do so. The Aghanims on the Viper, unfortunately delivered after you use the ultimate on the Slark, but it will be up soon enough. I mean, it's a low cooldown ultimate anyway. What is it? Cooldown. It doesn't say what the pre-Aghanim Scepter cooldown was, but that's fine, because it's something like 40-ish, I want to say. I don't know. I play him a lot, but I just don't know. But anyway, Viper will have that one soon enough, and until then, Groovy is going to keep on farming. There's 3,100 Gs on the Morphling. If he goes for something like a shotgun at this point, he could very easily just truck everyone on AI. And he'll be a little bit more vulnerable to the likes of Centaur burst damage and the Skywrath Mage as well, but as long as Gift Dodo plays it smart, and so far he has been playing it rather cautiously, he should be fine. 12-10, and well, AI have taken a little bit more of an edge in this game after that last couple of pickoffs, but still, the longer this game progresses, the hands of Midas for Groovy are going to be pulling themselves more and more ahead. And AI, they have to making more opportunities right now. Otto is going to be the driving force. He has to be the driving force behind his team. Otherwise, who's going to be setting up for these kills? I mean, a random Earthshaker? Well, maybe now that he has his Blink Dagger, he make it happen. Toby's been farming in the background, guys, and now he has a Blink Dagger. The question is, can he actually do anything with it? It's only level 1 Echo Slam. A Blink Fissure is certainly a devastating tool if you get the wall off, but I don't know if that's possible right now. And AI, they're just chilling. I think both teams kind of think that they have the better late game, and I think Groovy are probably right in their assumption, and AI are probably wrong. So AI, if they do sit around, I mean, they could take it decently late with the Slark and PA. Those are dangerous heroes for sure. But they're wasting a lot of potential because Centaur is not really that great late game as compared to how he is right now. It's all about using the hero's fullest potential, guys. How the Centaur's potential is right in this stage. This is where Centaur is at his strongest. Meantime, it's going to be, well, Slark getting a little bit of aggression, but he will be fine. He looks like he's going to go for a Shadow Blade. Don't really like this item on Slark. I feel like if you want to get in, then Blink Dagger is just a better item. Although, well, he's going to find an Invis Rune on the Morphling. If they open up with a stun, no, they get nothing. Good day, sir. Morphling is all the way back to base. Pops a regen rune for good measure. Oh, man, this is going to be a very long game, guys. This is going to be a very long game as Groovy, they're just farming. Just farming. Just farm Dota all day long. Oh, man. And nothing's actually happening. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself right now. Shadow Blade is up. Vlad's is up by the Bristleback. Not an item I would have predicted he was going to go for. It's still a fantastic item on the hero for sure. The extra armor, the extra damage, not to mention the lifesteal. And it'll be a nice aura to have on the team, but I mean, he already has a cloak. When you're facing down a Skywrath Mage, Shaker, Centaur, going for the pipe seemed like the logical item to get, although can't really blame him, I suppose. Viper's getting into a man fight with Chinky Winks. This is probably not a fight that Chinky Winks wants to take. He does have to worry about an Ogre Magi rotating in. No Fire Blast. They do Global Silence out, though. Morphling's going to kill off Skywrath Mage in the background as Diesel does get a Fire Blast onto the Slark. Now the Stampede out, and Ogre Magi is going to give his life away. Groove's going to finally mech up as Can't Stop does join the fight. Viper Strike going to completely whiff on that range creep. He will get that CS, but I don't think that's worth it. Chinky Wings still taking quite a bit of damage. The Blur giving him some serious value right now as Otto does jump in with the Hoof Stomp Double Edge onto Batib. He's going to bring him down in a hurry, although he will slip away for just a little while longer. Waveform forward from Gift Dota. He's going to try to kill off Otto, but here comes Toby with an Echo Slam available. He will not use it. Instead, he decides to back off. But he doesn't have to worry about Can't Stop, and as long as the Earthshaker blinks out, he will be fine. Although Can't Stop, it doesn't look like he's going to stop. He's going to back off in the end. It's going to be a 3-for-3 even trade after all is said and done. Really, the winners of that, Slark, Morphling, Bristleback, the survivors, especially that Morphling, now holding 6,600 gold, I believe. Is that a completed? Oh, man, I have Scotty for Gift Dodo. He is not going to go for a Sheepstick at all, it seems. That's a completed Scotty on him. And AI, I mean, they could afford to take these fights, mostly because it's the BKBs that are enabling them to do so. Once their BKBs start to dwindle in duration, then Groovy are just going to be able to walk all over them. I mean, the Viper was lasting for a very long time. If he didn't mess up and Viper Strike a creep, then I think he could have brought down the PA, and maybe he even stood a chance of survival there, but sometimes you just misclick and shit happens, so it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation, but still, I would say Groovy come out slightly ahead in that their Bristleback and Morphling are going to be a lot more potent moving forward. And the Morphling, though he doesn't have the burst potential of being able to completely 100 to 0 someone, he will very convincingly be able to kill people. Like, I have Scotty with the BKB. He's a very hard hero to kill with 1,800. My god, this guy is tanky. He's going to morph a little bit out of that 1,800, but he still is very durable. And then the slow sticking power, hitting for 200 damage a pop pretty damn quickly with all the agility he has. It's a threatening item, and I think the next item for Morphling should be that MKB. Up against the Phantom Assassin, that is 100% a necessity for any sort of damage dealer on Groovy. Hell, I would not even mind seeing the Viper or the Bristleback going straight for that item, just because it is so good. We saw the power of Blur in that last fight. His Phantom Assassin lasted for a hell of a long time, whereas any other hero would have gone down before then. If they get any MKBs on Groovy, then they'll be fine. And really, with the amount of farm they're getting, with the amount of space and time that they're buying for themselves, it seems like MKB with its high price tag is going to be a very reasonable item. Mech being picked up by the Skywrath Mage, not exactly a common item. Usually 4-staff, any sort of mobility is a little bit more desirable, but he will be sure to pick that one up for his team. And it's good to have a mech on your side, but 30-minute mech on a Skywrath Mage, I'm not really sure if that's going to help him that much. Top lane, Trinitas is going to be pushing a little bit, but this is just split push that's being traded back and forth, back and forth. Aghanim Scepter slowly being built up by Batib, and he will have that one in about 1,000 gold. That Global Silence is going to be pretty backbreaking from AI, assuming they poorly timed their BKBs. And, you know, they want to pop BKBs ideally in the beginning of the fight just to deal with the magic damage of Groovy. But then you get Silence, then your chasing power is severely hampered if you're a Slark or a PA. Things get pretty ugly from there on out. Slark, though, looking to dive. The Silencer will just narrowly juke to the right. Batib now going to try to TP out. This is a double damage Slark, though. He's one more hit, won't get it. Silencer manages to live. Now here comes Diesel. He's a little bit more durable than the Silencer for sure, and Trinitas is going to easily pounce out of there. 5-1-5, and this Slark is running wild, getting quite a bit of farm himself. But the farm, I feel like, is just not showing up as much just because he's gone for these weirdish utility items and the Boots of Travel and the Shadow Blade. These are items that helps him move around to get kills, but it doesn't actually help him get kills, if that makes any sense. Still, he's relying almost purely on his base values in order to get that done. Gift Dota's going to get silenced. He actually BKBs. Wow! That was a terrible usage of BKB. If you get silenced like that, I guess you could assume that a Centaur is going to follow up, but man, that was the best play that Skywrath Mage could have made right there. It's kind of an unreasonable play to expect from your Skywrath, but now it's going to be Grooves in a little bit of trouble. He's going to eat an entirety Mystic Flare, blink forward for a Fissure. Global Silence is there. It's a little bit late though, and Trinitas can buff it out with the BKB, although he's going to choose not to. Blink forward from Otto, looking for Hoof Stomp, will instead just land the double edge, and Grooves still on the run. They're going to stampede forward for this Viper. Where is everyone else from Groovy right now? They really need more heroes right now. It's going to be Trinitas to jump right into a multicast, and it will be the death of the Slark. Echo Slam from Toby, not going to do that much damage, as now he's in a hell of a lot of trouble. He will be dropping as well. That's a 2-for-1. It took Groovy a little bit of time to actually mobilize the troops, but once they did, they turned things around in a damn hurry. They clean up a whole bunch of heroes, killing off the Slark, most notably. Going to be the large pick-off there, and Viper spent most of his gold before he died, so he is going to be going for a BKB, it seems, moving forward, and AI, I mean, going for a hero pick-off is good on paper, but you got to be killing off the Silencer or someone else who's softer, not the Viper. This guy is mad tanky. He ate an entire Mystic Flare, a double edge, a whole bunch of chasing power from everyone else, and was able to survive through most of it. So AI are just going to force to be waiting for another 30 seconds as Groovy. They just want farm. Like, I really hope this game isn't going to go the distance, because this game does seem like one that could last for a hell of a long time, as long as neither team actually goes for anything. Batib might be in a little bit of trouble, though. Phantom Strike from across the edge, not going to land. Now the blink forward from the PA will BKB for the Silencer kill. Nice little pickup by the Phantom Assassin, though her BKBs are slowly starting to run out. Getting kills, as nice as they are, you kind of want to save them for a little bit later. 7-second BKB will very quickly become 5 seconds, and then you're pretty useless. Like, you'll be able to interrupt maybe something like a multicast or a Fire Blast, rather. And that might be relevant, but odds are it's not going to be. But either way, Groovy, they're just going to stay the course down on the bottom lane. AI, they're really struggling to make any sort of headway in this game. Even with the Blink Dagger Shaker, Blink Dagger Centaur, they really can't get that much going. At least they're not trying to. And Slark, as powerful as he's getting, I don't think is going to be powerful enough. I mean, his BKB still at 7 seconds as well, but can't stop. Well, he's going to look to make a fight happen. Groovy, they know that they're ahead right now, and they're going to send the burst back onto the front lines, taking pretty much no damage from that of AI. And yeah, he took like 2 arcane bolts, and all of a sudden he's going to be at full HP. This is going to be one of those games, guys. Like, they're just farming. That's all it is. And if you're going to be playing like this, then, like, why not go for a really hard carry? An anti-mage, something like that. That would have been so much better right now. I mean, Morphling's pretty hard, and he will just go straight in. Gift Dota wants Nuji, and it looks like Nauji, rather. It looks like he will get that kill. Blink forward from the Centaur is going to miss his stomp because of BKB. Now Global Silence. Otto has nowhere to run. He's slowed down to a crawl. He's going to stampede out. Waveform is there. One more right click. Not going to do it. But with another Quill Spray, they will get it. Chinky Wing showing his face. Don't be there, Phantom Assassin. Not a good idea. That's going to be a 2-for-0. And Groovy, they lose 0 heroes, though they do expend the Global Silence. They can go for this push very easily. They have to respect the Blink Echo Slam, but Toby He's off to the side, and even if he gets it, Can't Stop is not going to take that much damage from it. They're going to look to jump in with the Slark instantly to the Shadow Dance. Oh no, a terrible Echo Slam as Can't Stop interrupts it with his quills. It's going to be Gift Dota to take a lot of damage in the meantime with the crits and whatnot, but still it's going to be Can't Stop taking out that Earthshaker off to the side, and Viper, he's still sitting in the middle of everything. Multicast on Shaky Wings. He's now being focused down by pretty much everyone on Groovy. Viper Strike not being used just yet, though not even needed. He will be brought down regardless. Now Viper Strike onto Nauji. This is going to be the death of the Scarith Mage yet again. Has a mech. It's going to be mostly irrelevant as he does take a fall as well. This is going to be high ground for Groovy, only with a Slark to defend. They're going to probably not be able to take the Raxes. They're going to force out the buyback from the PA. But it's still, you're forcing out a buyback from the PA. That's a good thing. That's something that they would not get otherwise. And Morphling, he has Replicate, so he'll quickly jump back to the base, juice up to full, and cast off. He's going to get pounced upon, but Trinitas can't really do anything with that. Blink 4 from Otto, landing a beautiful 4-man hoof stomp, but there's no follow-up for this one. Shaker's back in, but he already used his Echo Slam. Can't really do much outside of throwing a fissure. Now Gift Dodo has returned. I don't know why he's not at full HP. Slark is going to jump in, trying to go for this Morphling. Has a waveform, is not going to use it just yet. So should turn around for it. Going to kill off Toby with it. There we go. Now Trinitas is going to pounce out of there. Should be just fine unless he really gets chased down, although I don't think it's going to be worthwhile for Groovy to do so. That's going to be about it that they can get right now, just because they haven't taken any of the other tier 2s. But just like that, the game takes a very bad turn for AI as they quickly lose everything in the mid lane. Like, that was just loss after loss after loss. And now Morphling has a completed butterfly in his base, or flying out to him rather. And that will be a BKB as well onto Grooves. Not really sure if that's a necessary item for the Viper, but now looking for the tier 2s. Groovy should be able to take those in a very fast hurry. Assault Cuirass completed on the Bristleback. Just a terrifying amount of items with the Aghanim Scepter also on Silencer. Force Staff on the Ogre Magi. That fight, man. Yeah, we were just like hovering around 5k, you know, just farm fest. All of a sudden, Groovy are like, okay, time to go, guys. Let's kill everything. And kill everything they did. Skyrocketing up 10,000 net worth. Should be about the same for experience. In fact, it's almost exactly the same. It is exactly the same. Look at that. Morphling's dying somewhere. No, he's not. He's agility morphing. He's fine. And AI are all of a sudden 1 racks down. Fortunately, they do have 2 tier 2 towers still up, so they're not going to outright lose because of that push, but that's still not looking too good for them. Like, even the quote-unquote support hero, the Silencer, he's trucking with 24 intelligence stolen. And Ogre Magi, well, he's chugging along as well. Probably having the worst performance out of everyone from Groovy, but, you know, everyone else is doing so well that worst performance doesn't really mean that much. This Morphling is capable of 1v1ing pretty much anyone in AI. He has 28 armor, and when you're dealing with Phantom Assassin crits, any sort of armor that you could scrape together is going to be fantastic, i.e. Bristleback Assault Cuirass Vlad's offering is going to be huge. I'd like to see Groovy go to any lane over this mid lane, although it could just be that they're going to go for the GG push. It seems unnecessarily risky. Yeah, okay, they're going to just push that wave just a little bit more, maybe go for Roshan. Honestly, I think Bristleback could solo it right now. He's tanky enough to do so. Put a Viper or a Morphling in there and he'll be fine. But straight pushing a side lane should lead to, at the very least, a free tier 2 tower for Groovy. At the very best, free Raxes for Groovy. And if they get a kill on Slark, that's going to be a nice way to start. But they don't actually have any detection here. They don't even actually, they have no detection at all. So that happened. We do see a Shiva's Guard being picked up by the Bristleback. Honestly, I don't think this item is very good right now. I mean, it's a nice item to have on the team, but this guy is armored up already. He's not going to get much return off of that. In that it's kind of redundant. You could be perfectly fine versus physical damage and help out your team a little bit more by buying something like a Heaven's Halberd or by buying an MKB to do a little bit more damage. Shiva's Guard is just way too tanky, and he's going to start to fall off on threat level. I don't think it's really going to matter just because Groovy are so far ahead, but they're just minor things here and there. Gift Dota are going to, or Groovy rather, are going to plow their way through the bottom lane tier 2. Now the slow siege starts on the bottom lane tier 3. Unless they decide to go for Roshan first, which is going to be pretty easy for them. Like I said before, they could just do it with 2 heroes. They do it with all 5 heroes, that should be even easier. There you go. AI fighting in Roshan pit. Well, it's not going to happen just yet. Bristleback can do it by himself, as I said before. Stack up some goo, and all of a sudden your Vlad's carrying you a hell of a long way, and he's going to do that right away. Look at this damage. This is not a Shiva's Guard hero. This is someone who wants to be doing some more damage. He's going to demolish Roshan, and AI, they're way too far away to respond. Morphling teleported very quickly up to the top lane, replicated right back, I mean, they might lose a tier 2, but honestly, they could absorb that loss and just go straight up the top lane or bottom lane and try to take Raxes. The bottom lane, or top lane tower rather, is going to drop. Again, that's fine, perfectly fine for AI as long as they don't lose anything, Groovy rather, as long as they don't lose anything else in that lane. Are they really just going to sit back and farm? I think that's a big mistake. I mean, you are so far ahead, you got a huge leap of power from that last fight. The last thing you want to do is sit back and farm. It just makes no sense. And like, even though their heroes will still get better with that farm, it's pointless. We come back once again to that wasted potential idea where you are so much further ahead, and if you decide to sit back and not press that advantage, you're probably going to, at the very least, give your opponents more opportunities to get back into it. As Can't Stop is going to run to several heroes. Slark is going to bypass the front lines, going to go straight for the Silencer, but the straight TP out, and Silencer will be able to survive. They're ready to use the Global Silence. Can't Stop being focused by everything under the sun, but he has an Aegis. He doesn't care about anything. Grooves and now Diesel are in the most trouble. In fact, it's going to be Diesel turn around for the Fire Blast, but the Phantom Assassin jumps right in. With the Bashers, he's going to take a lot of damage, Diesel, and he will be brought down in a hurry. Where are the rest of Groovy heroes? They are coming in right now. Can't Stop. Going to try to 1v4. As tanky as this Bristleback is, I don't really know if this is the best course of action. He's going to get fissured. Has to turn his back, but he won't do so. Where is this Morphling? Groovy, are you really going to get picked off like this? Oh, man. He's going to start teleporting in. Can't Stop, though. As tanky as he is, going to be focused down by 4 heroes, and he is down. No, he is down. There it is. It's going to be Nauji. My God, names. He's going to be brought down very quickly by the Morphling. Now going to try to man fight up against that PA, but the mischance from that Morphling making it a little bit more difficult. Groove's going to throw out an occasional Viper Strike, and Gift Dota is going to wait for him and miss. How do you miss like that? Oh my God. Echo Slam in from Toby, more or less just for the stun as Bat-Tip does come in. Gift Dota is going to slay the Earthshaker in a hurry. Now Trintas with the BK bead pop is going to be forced to turn tail and run. Viper Strike is going to slow him down, although he actually won't pack out the slow. Now he's going to be chased forward with the slows. He will be brought down. That's 4 for 1. I guess 4 for 2 as the Bristleback did lose his Aegis as well. Man, if Groovy were there with all their heroes, they could have ended this game by now. But instead, they try to take this awkward as hell fight where the Morphling can't TP in because he was trying to push the top lane. They force the buyback out from the Slark. Can they go for a set of Raxes here? They could try to do it, but Morphling, he's having a little bit of trouble fighting up against the PA and the Slark together. And he's fully morphed into strength, so this is actually pretty pointless for Gift Dota. You have to back off now, guys. Groovy, they've just wasted their opportunity of winning this game, unfortunately. For them, this game is going to press on. And Morphling, you should not be teleporting up there. You should be teleporting back to base after making a replicate of someone down on bottom so that you could actually, no, okay, pick up an MKB. That's fine. I'm good. I'm down with that. Now he's going to be able to tear through the PA, assuming he actually has the agility to do so, and he will get that in a hurry. So Groovy, they missed their opportunity, as I said, to win the game outright. But they'll have another chance, and this time with a 6-slotted Morphling. Like, well, actually not literally 6-slotted. He's close. He's very close. He could chip out his hand to Midas, pick up a Manta Style, or a Daedalus, or anything he wants. Really, the world is Gift Dota's oyster right now. The Viper also has an MKB completed. He is 1 item slot off being 6-slotted. Magic Wand can be shipped out for, again, anything he wants. And Bristleback, Shiva's guard status is still waiting for that Mystic Staff, which is 1,300 gold away. Not too far, and then once that happens, he'll be 1 slot off of 6-slotted as well. Whereas the PA, she has 1, 2, 3, 4 item slots to fill. Slark has 1, 2, 3 item slots to fill. Yeah, AI, they're very behind right now. I mean, it's no surprise, really. When you lose Raxes in that decisive a matter, you're expected to be a little bit behind, but man, MKB now on the Morphling, he's hitting like an absolute truck right now. Look at this, 300, 440 damage a pop. Without armor, of course, but any armor that AI do have is going to be very quickly mitigated by the Nasal Goo, by the Assault Cuirass. And then we have a pause. My God. This game, guys. Oh my God, Viper's back. Hallelujah. That was the momentary blink of an eye pause. I love it. Grooves, please say you're here. Please say we could go on. Because outside of a miracle fight from AI, I don't see them coming back into this game. Like, the Morphling is just way too terrifying right now. Even with the Bloodlust, didn't even mention that. They're going to teleport back with the Bristleback and try to stop this. Morphling has Replicate for a reason. Like, they could, again, just be winning the game right now. I hate it when teams do this. I mean, maybe it's one of those situations where I see it because I'm in this caster spot, but teams don't see it because they're like, oh, well, we'll defend our base and we'll play it slow and stuff like that. But it's just like, no, if you guys just go right now, you win the game. Just take your heroes, just go, and you win. But they clearly don't see it because they're teleporting back a Bristleback, and the rest of the heroes are going to fall back as well. I mean, look at this Morphling. Like, he's not going to get that much stronger, honestly. One item is certainly going to help, but, man, like, the Slark is pretty much doing a job. Honestly, you could afford to give up this tower and the Raxes and just have the rest of the heroes just plow through. It's going to be, at worst, a Rax for Rax trade, and that's something that Groovy can deal with. So, unnecessarily cautious, I think. And it seems to be a trend in these Steel games. Like, they just don't know when they could go in and insta-win the game. Instead, we're sitting here waiting for a pause that's not going to be a short one. Oh my god. Well, guys, as I said before, it's going to be one of those games. And what could I do about this? Pretty much nothing. There's nothing to do. It's not possible. It can't be done. I mean, we already know the state of the game. It's that. That is the game right there. We had a little bit of good start for Groovy, and then, oh, we're just going to farm for 10 minutes. Or, like, 15 minutes. Then we take Raxes. Then we're going to farm for 15 minutes. I don't get it. Doesn't really make much sense to me. And AI, well, they're not getting any items. Force Staff, not going to win you the game. BKB on Centaur, I guess useful, but, again, not going to be winning you any games. They're going to go for a Demon Edge item on the PA. MKB for dealing with the Butterfly's evasion is going to be a nice pickup, but she's actually able to pick that one up right now. She has enough gold. That's going to be no buyback, though, and you need your buyback right now as PA. She's the only one with it, actually. My god. Literally the only hero on the map with buyback. Everyone else is freaking poor, man. Oh, this is buyback gold left. I didn't notice that. Oh. Oh, I actually never realized this. I don't really look at this that often. Like, there's only certain situations where you need to look at it. But I didn't realize that it means buyback status even after losing gold. Like, it's a useful tool, I guess, but I just go by what's under the portraits. That's really what is the most important at the time, so I'm sure people are like, oh, I'm going to see what the buyback status is. We got no buybacks. None, except for one on the PA. So that's like the, what, 5th pause or something like that? Yeah, it's promised one of those games, but they will just clear this top lane very quickly. Are they going to go for the top lane push? I think going for the tier 2 top is actually just a better idea, so I'd like to see everyone move up there. Not just clear your jungle, just go up there. And, I mean, you could take this top tier 2 tower a lot easier than they took the bottom tier 2 because it's at half HP, so it'll take them about half the time. And then after that, you have access to both the top Raxes and the bottom Raxes. So instead of taking the bottom Rax and then backing off and going for the top, you could take it all in one fell swoop. And that's generally preferable than extending the game unnecessarily. Again, you're giving your opponents opportunities in order to come back into the game that are better off avoided. Gift Dota is going to be moving very aggressively through the enemy jungle. This is a great way to lose the game if you're Morphling. I mean, he can realistically fight 1v3, maybe even 1v4, but still putting yourself alone like that when you're just so much stronger as a group, another unnecessary thing that Groovy are doing right now. And, like, I wouldn't really be like this if it wasn't 46 minutes in and this game could have been over in 30, but yeah. It's just happening like that. It looks like they are going to win the game, though. Groovy are about tired of farming. Thank God it only took them 40 minutes. They have a haste rune on Viper who's going to be scouting everything out, but this tower is very quickly going to fall, and this time there's no split push from AI. As long as the Silencer keeps his distance, and he is, Global Silence is going to almost completely screw over the AI fight. And Morphling honestly could just put himself right in the high ground and just take this tower by himself. If he gets jumped upon, so be it. He doesn't have an Aegis, but if he's fast with BKB or if he has any sort of support from his allies' Global Silence, then he's fine. Can't stop. The same thing, except more so with 50 freaking armor. My god, Bristleback, that is just disgusting. He could tank this tower. I think at this point, like, Shiva's Assault Cuirass is overkill. Going for a heart would have been fantastic, so he could take the tower for free without taking any damage. They're going to open up on the Trinitas, and this time it will Shadow Dance outwards. Morphling is going to dodge the Skywrath Mage ulti and then blow him up. And back end, Otto is going to try to go for that silencer, but the global silence does come out in time. Otto is all alone. Where are the rest of AI's heroes? Seriously, where are they? Toby is going to completely botch up his Echo Slam for like the second time in a row, and that's going to lead to his death. That time, I'm like 80% sure, 90% sure that nothing canceled it. Janky Wix is going to try to come in and kill off Bandit, but a Ghost Scepter is going to bail him out, and Morphling going to take out the PA, then quickly the Slark. That's good game. It's all over, guys. Groovy have breached the base, and that's GG called by Trintas. So we're going to moving on to game number 2. Again, this game could have been over in about 35 minutes tops from Groovy if they were truly pressing their advantages. But they play it safe, they play it slow, and it turns out to pay off for them. So we're going to move on to game number 2, guys. Don't go anywhere. The lobby will be up shortly.